there, I am Alviana Brewster, the owner of Black Nurse Entrepreneurs, known to you as the premier networking organization for Black nurses who are interested in launching, building, and growing their entrepreneurial endeavors worldwide. Now, many of you guys know that we are getting ready to start our Takeover Conference. It will be happening July the 28th through the 30th here in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. And so what I wanted to do was bring to you a little snippet of some of our speakers, and we have the Viola Pierce with us tonight. So let me go grab her and we'll bring her on and we'll have a good conversation with her. So hold on 1 second. Boom. Hi, Dr. V. How are you today?
I'm good. And how are you?
Doing well. So I gave them a little bit of an introduction, Dr. Viola Pierce of VP Nursing, but I want you to tell the people exactly who you are and what you do.
So my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I am the owner and CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, where our goal is to teach nurses how to work on their computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning their own time.
That's right. So one of the reasons why I wanted Dr. V to come and speak to us is because there is a specific topic that she has really taken a hold of and really ran with it. And it's really helping to motivate the nurse who's at the bedside. You know how it is. We're burnt out, we're tired, we're frustrated, we're not being heard. So how can we help the burnout nurse or anybody interested in business from a coaching and a consulting type or standpoint? How can we transfer you over into the business world, but also have you to successfully do that and make some six figures? You know, let's do it in a good way, not having to hustle and rip and run all the time, right? So I want you to talk about why this topic is so important to you. And I feel like this is your baby. Like you have taken it and you ran with it. Why is that important to you?
I think one of the bigger reasons is because I was in the emergency department and I was burnt out myself. And I really wanted to make a sustainable change. So I went back to school and got all these degrees. But what I found out was that going back to school and getting all these degrees meant nothing. Because if the organization doesn't want to change, then they're not going to change. And we really look at it. I mean, just look at it, right? You're in an organization that their dollars comes from the patient being in the bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would they be interested in the patient not being in the bed? So we have to figure out a different way. Nurses are the biggest force in health profession in healthcare, right?
Right.
And so because we're the biggest profession in healthcare, we can make a sustainable difference. We can't do it under the auspices of having someone else control our time, control what we say, control how we deliver it to the audience or deliver it to our clients. We have to take control of that. And so that's the reason why I'm very passionate. And with this, it's stuff you already know. So that the content you already got in your head, right? Because you came with that. Nurses have a plethora of knowledge, right? And all they have to do is take that knowledge, package it up, monetize it, and sell it, and they can become a six-figure entrepreneur for sure.
Gotcha. And you know what? I think what it warrants us to highlight that a lot of nurses make six figures already.
Right.
But my thing is this: at what cost? Is it at the expense of your time, like you said, your money, your peace, your value, your physical well-being? Like, do you have to work 6 shifts per week in order to get a six-figure income, or would it be a better idea to have the autonomy to use what we have, like you said, and be able to get to that six figures doing what we like to do without having to answer all the time, without having to beg for our time off and so on and so forth. So I think that's one of the most important things about what you're doing and why it's so necessary and needed in our profession.
That's definitely for sure. We talked about it before we came on, but my mother just passed away. And one of the things that I struggled with in the past is the fact that you have an immediate family member that passes away. And at our particular hospital, they gave you, I want to say, maybe 48 hours,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of days, right? In order for you to be able to bereave that family member. Well, I mean, I'm in my business. I mean, I can take as much time off as I want to. I have the ability to be able to take the time off, and I don't have to always work in the business of the business. And that's one of the advantages of that. And the fact that nobody else, when you don't align with everything that the organization says, you are bringing a fresh perspective to healthcare. because the reality is that when we're in hospital, we're in sick care, right? You want to be very proactive and trying to help other nurses, help other, help our patients, and just designing the programs that you need to design in order to help our communities. But not only that, provide generational wealth for your family,
That's
right?
right.
Your family is important. And many, many years and time, Myron Golden talked about that time versus money, right?
Right, right.
And so, we want that time back. And so I have the time to be able to do the things that I need to do, to spend the time with my family and to be there with them during that time, that my mother passed away.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the most precious things about entrepreneurship is unapologetically being able to spend the time that you need necessary to go through the grieving process. We all know that when loved ones pass away, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that have to be done. I like the fact that at least with entrepreneurship, I can have someone running the back end of the business and I get to spend that time with my loved ones and don't have to worry about, well, I got to cut this short because I got to get ready for work or, I got to figure out what I'm going to wear tomorrow to work. Is my stuff ironed? We didn't have to do any of that. We get to be able to spend that precious time with our loved one and the family, and that's one of the most crucial things. I want to flip over to the network, right? I want you to take a retrospective look. Think about where you were this time last year compared to this time right now, and the type of networking, the type of communities that you've been involved in, and how that has skyrocketed your business. Honestly, it's a part of it. It's not the whole thing, but it is a huge part of why you've done so well.
Well, one of the things that, happened is we met, right? And so we met, and after we met, I was looking back on my Facebook memories, right? And I was doing, because this was a marketing strategy that I was taught by one of my coaches that was not all so good. But anyway, it is what it is. So she told me to do these secret suppers. And so we were doing those. And I remember a year ago, that's what I was doing, trying to market everything and just not having a successful way of getting clients, just didn't know exactly what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I have found with being a BNE is that I have like I look at everybody's timeline, and so some people are like, well, some people get jealous, because they see other people succeeding. For
Right.
me, I am not jealous. Like I just want to know how you did it, right?
Right.
I just want to know how you scaled it, so that because it's enough out here for all of us, right? And so all we have to do is know how you did it. And one of the things, like I get excited whenever people win. I get excited. I'm like, you're winning, right? And one of the things that I like about being in the community that you have cultivated, and I will say this all the time, I say this every time, is that this is a community where there is no backstabbing. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are people in the back in this in behind the scenes kind of doing that thing, but you don't allow that within this community, and I really appreciate that, and that's the reason why I've stayed for so long. Because I mean, I just don't do that cattiness. Because we have to move the needle.
Yeah.
Somebody needs our services. Somebody is waiting on you, right? Somebody is just like somebody was waiting on you, Aviana.
Right.
You formulated the community back in 2015, right? Somebody was waiting on you. It was me, right? I was waiting on you. And so once I got there, then, the network determined my net worth, because literally within a year's time, a year and a half, I have went from working for someone else to working for myself, and within 6 months making six figures.
Very good. Very good. I want to highlight a couple of our comments. This lady right here, Miss Mama Nurse, she says, I'm a trauma surgical ICU nurse, and I love being a nurse, but sometimes the bedside work gets tiring. Yeah, gets tiring. So what I want to do is highlight that comment right there, because here's the thing: we're not necessarily saying that you just got to absolutely leave the bedside if you don't want to. But here's my part of it is, go in when you go into a job and you have a side hustle, secondary income, a side business, something else you're doing, that interview is going to hit differently, because now it's more about I'm here because I truly want to be here, opposed to I have to be here because I need the benefits, I need the money, I need the salary, and I'm willing to accept anything y'all give me because I'm in a need, I'm in a desperate need. So if you want to be a trauma ICU nurse, God be with you. That's not my wheelhouse. But we need those people for sure. But the flip side of it is, why not also monetize that knowledge and be able to have a global impact? We only have an impact within the ICU, within the four walls that we're there from 7 to 7, those 12 hours. We're only able to have that impact for a small amount of time. But why not also take that knowledge that we've learned as a nurse and or business, combine it together and have a global impact that really touches people? And like you say, we get to work around the world. What does that mean to you, working around the world, owning your time? What does that mean?
So I'm able to own my own time. Like, I mean, I'm going on, I don't want to tell the world, but, I've got a few places that I'm going, here in the short few weeks. And I don't have to, like, I'm not tied to a location,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not tied to a location. I can go anywhere. I do speaking engagements all over the world. I'm an international speaker now, things like that. I am able to do that and still coach, right? I've cultivated my coaching program and still coach. And so it is so easy. And this is the thing. This is the thing that really taxes me when it comes to healthcare, is that we have cultivated the society where we think that we have to go back to school and we have to get all these degrees. When the reality is that you don't have to go back to school and get a degree. Okay.
That part.
I was so disappointed when I got to my DNP program because all I learned was a bunch of theory and how to edit a paper and how to do a project. Which I already knew how to do a project and I knew how to edit the paper. And so I really didn't learn a whole lot of anything. I learned tenacity, and I learned that if you continue on, you will win. And that's the thing about entrepreneurship. If you consistency separates one hit wonders from all time greats. And I say this all the time: you're the sum total of the five people you hang out with the most. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to move. You need to make sure that you are in these rooms
Mm-hmm.
where people are smarter than you are, where you can take in the information. You be humble enough to be able to take it. Just because my doctor is in front of my name does not mean I'm not able to take information from people who are smarter than I am.
Very good. One last thing that I would like to add before we get out of here is something that you say, which is reflective of your coach, Marquel, who says that success is not a secret, that it's a system. And one thing, one thing that I love about that is I've watched you implement the system. The system. I want you to spend a few minutes just talking about what it means to have the system in place to get you from the bedside to the six-figure nurse boss.
Yeah, so that was key. So I'd had coaches before, but they were giving me a whole lot of mindset and things of that nature. Well, in my program, what we do is we combine mindset and practical, right? So you can have mindset all you want to, and you can know that you're going to win. But if you don't have the practical
Mm-hmm.
steps in order for you to be able to win, then you're not going to win. And understanding your key performance indicators, understanding your numbers, making sure that you are moving the needles based off of numbers, not based off of your feelings, because we are a feeling nation, okay? And we want to feel things. However, once I put that systematic process into place, it was a game changer. It was
Game changer.
literally a game changer. And I started getting clients left and right. And so what I do is I teach my clients to do the very same thing.
So that is our time. I want to thank you for coming on and giving us a little bit of a taste of what you'll be talking about. As she said, it's a system. A lot of these things are not secrets. As long as we put forth the system and we work towards the goal just a little bit at a time, every day, put forth something into your business. And before you know it, boom, what do we say? The elephant, you eat it a little bit at a time, and then before you know it, the whole elephant is gone, right?
Right.
One last thing, Mama Nurse said this right here. I'm currently building my business in education sharing. She's loving what we're doing here. At the end of the day, Mama Nurse, I want you to actually reach out and touch base with us, myself and Dr. V, if you will. If nothing else, we are inviting each and every one of you guys to come here to the Dallas Fort Worth area. Dr. V is one of the people that will be speaking, but we have several speakers that will be here. At the end of the day, my goal is to provide the Black nurse with the best resources I possibly can from a networking standpoint. How is it that we come back into the network, create this ecosystem where we can share and we can feed off of each other, right? How do we do that? So come to our conference July the 28th through the 30th here in Dallas. The tickets are still available, but next week is our deadline, so you better get in the building. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you, including you, Dr. V. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.